When you pull up to Mama Rocks, especially the brand new joint in Karen, oh, it's nothing but good times ahead.
Exactly, and I'm talking to DJ Kafi, who will take me through his reinvention from a DJ to a host and a producer.
I cannot wait to sit down with Moseh The Drummist. This guy, he's not just good at playing the drums, he's also doing quite a lot for his community.
Exactly. DJ Kafi has over 10 years in the industry. He revolutionized his brand, and his resume now boasts of him as a producer and host. He stays keen on keeping it real. How are you finding the new location?
The location is looking nice. I like the branding and everything.
Yeah.
This vibe is quite nice.
I know,
really
like
love
all
it.
this.
And
The new colours
this
and
bag, I
everything.
can't wait, man. I really can't wait.
When we sit down.
Yeah? You know, it's been a minute since we had the chat, yani.
Yes.
I haven't seen you in a long time. How have you been?
I've been great. I've been
Yes.
okay. Amazing how you have kept on reinventing yourself.
Thank you very much.
We
man.
have so many DJs in the industry, but Kafi, look at you.
Thank you very much. It's been a journey, first of all, so I thank God.
Yeah.
But reinventing myself is something that I realized very early when I started doing music.
Yeah.
I realized that there's a lot of DJs. And how do you stand out? Because if you stand out, that is the thing that will make you be picked over other people. Otherwise, you just be
Exactly.
mixed with the crowd. So
Yeah.
that's what even made me reinvent myself a couple of times, because I'd always find that as a DJ, it's saturated. As a radio presenter, it becomes saturated again.
True.
So I've always found ways to start again from somewhere, then find my niche in that, then find something. I do so many things like that.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you go into the industry
Yeah.
and other people read it wrong.
Yes.
You know, but then, you know, you seem to have read it differently.
Yes,
It's
I
like you
did.
went in and you're like, no. When did you read the room and understand that?
I picked up on that, I think when I was a bit like 2, 3 or 3 months in the game, or 4 months. G-Man is always going into the DJing game. And I asked G-Man one day, I'm like, G, as a DJ, have I peaked? Because I felt like I'd peaked. I felt like I'd gotten to a point where I'd done most of the things.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, Kafi, you haven't peaked. But in my mind, when I went back home, I was like, no, bro, you can't continue doing this and expecting it to play out differently in the future, because you have already seen this happen so many times with other people. I have to walk a different path. I knew it was going to be difficult. So the plan for me was to have this career span out for such a long time.
Yeah.
I've seen myself doing this music thing till I die. So to have that made me have that plan.
Cheki, juu ya do nimejaza zero juu ya so. Sijakafunga piga biz juu ya do so. Juu ya do mi nafanya ngeuso na shikamo so domo kata niko juu ya do.
Let me ask, what kind of a burger eater are you? Are you a messy eater?
Yeah, I can be a really messy eater.
Yeah,
like
I'm
the
a
ones
messy
that
eater.
come up on the side of
That's
your...
me. There's no perfection.
No, when you're eating burgers, absolutely not.
Something that's so saucy inside there is so good. I don't know what it is.
It must be that special sauce.
By the way, it's talking about sauce. They used to put sauce on our screens. How come you stop being on our screens? Like doing
here.
doing news.
It's seasons,
Okay.
and I had my season.
Yeah.
But you know how I feel sometimes,
Yeah.
like we want new changes,
Yeah.
but then when we start, we are actually scared. Because
Man.
whenever I would transition, I would be so freaked out. Because yes, you know what you want in the future,
Yeah.
but then sometimes you're doing it to show other guys in the industry. Are you seeing that I'm moving? Are
I
you
can
seeing
do
that I'm
this.
with it?
Yeah.
What is your mentality toward it?
First, I don't have any other options that I'm really looking forward to. And if I don't do it, who will do it? The DJs who had come before me, I saw the trajectory. I saw most of them will end up on radio, on TV, then saturate. They will be not going any further. I don't think I know of any Kenyan DJ who has ever gone further than being on TV and being a very popular DJ around. So for me, I thought about it, I was like, I had to add more value
Yeah.
to this DJing thing, so that even the ones who come after me, they can see, okay, there was this one, and then there was somebody else who went further. And the guys who also inspire me, Black Coffee, DJ Premier.
Inspire?
Yeah, they also did the same thing, where they have transitioned from just being DJs to producers to now multinational music moguls.
But you have longevity. 8 years later, actually more than 10 years later. Do you know it's not funny? It is not the easiest thing.
For longevity for me,
Yeah.
it was something that we don't speak about in the music industry, but you have to know that it's important. Because as a DJ, first, I always tell all my friends, everybody who interacts with me, I've seen countless DJs come and go, and they've left me here who didn't have a plan, because they were doing what was popular. you'll find very few people chart the path that is actually inside their heart. They just follow what's there. You can be a normal DJ, but you have to do something, or you can be an artist, you can be an entrepreneur. You have to do something that separates you.
Like
from
get
the
your
pack.
own sound.
Exactly. Get your own sound, get your own style, get your own swag.
Because you went from like the popular tunes to
Yes.
Jamaican dancehall, like you're really popular for that.
Yes.
And then
so
now you
much.
went into, you know, the Afro pop.
Let me tell you that story. For me to quit dancehall, that was I thought I was crazy, because when I was doing dancehall as a DJ, I was at the height of dancehall. I was one of the best DJs in Kenya at doing dancehall at that time. It was G-Money, then me. Nobody else can tell you anything else. If they're telling you anything else, they're
I used to come
capping.
for those gigs.
They're capping. You remember?
Yeah.
So for me to have stopped that, it took me a bit, because I was like, how can I stop a career that I love so much to do something else? But for me, I came to the realization that no matter how hard I go at this,
Yeah.
or how much effort I put at this, there's somebody who was born into this dancehall, which is in Jamaica and all
exactly.
that.
And
they'll always have,
and they'll understand it better. Ooh.
they'll understand it better, they'll move it faster, and have the connections faster. So I was like, let me bring it back home, where I live, the people I interact with daily, the people who I move with daily, and thank God I made that transition. It was such a, it was those times where you're like, swim, sink or swim, and thank God I swam.
And then having to interact with, you know, African artists like Adukuna Gold, Mr. Easy.
Yeah.
And then now you're a producer.
Yeah.
And you also curate a lot of the Amapiano.
Yes.
But now Kenyan sound.
Yes.
How did you get to that?
I ground myself in music, but not specific sounds of music. So I do, that's why I'm always experimenting. And right now, since the piano sound is good, I was like, why not? And as a DJ playing it, I'm always seeing the reactions that it gives to people. I'm like, I definitely have to tap into this sound. I'm like, it's an African sound. It's not a South African
And
sound.
it's so
to me.
popular right now.
It's popular because it's good.
Yeah.
Something can only be popular if it's good. It cannot be popular if it's bad.
The tour with Sauti Soul.
Yes.
That must have been major.
That was epic and legendary. I don't think there's any artist in Kenya who has ever done that, who has ever toured Kenya before Sauti Soul.
No, actually.
Yeah, they were the first artist.
Different counties, but not like entirely like,
yes,
you know, the
to
country.
tour like that, and to tour like that, because when I say to tour like that, means to take a whole stage, to take a whole band, to take a whole entourage of like 200 people everywhere, Mombasa, Meru, Kisumu. It was one of the best experiences, because it was also I was in class. I was learning so much from the masters who have done it, and to the level that they do it, I was learning so much. And I really enjoyed also interacting with my fans from outside Nairobi, because you know, up at Nairobi, Kanairo,
and it's a Bible. Yeah, Nairobi ni Bible,
you know,
by the way.
we are here in a bubble, but outside you're like, oh, so I actually have fans here. I was like, Sauti Soul tour was
That's when you know it's the real deal.
Super proper. It even made me now that I'm planning for my own tour with my people and my team. It made me have a vision of my own tour. So it was super, super epic. I enjoyed every minute of it. Oh, since sasa tumeshiba, so we go to studio and catch up on a couple of jams.
Kwanza tuoshe mikono.
No,
Sababu hiyo ulafi yenye imefanyika hapa.
Imekuwa too much, man.
Too much ulafi.
La kwanza nashukuru kwa maisha ulonipa, unaumbalia mbao nimetamba. Hakuna aweza linganishwa na we, Mungu wangu, ndio maana kwako najigamba. Kila kitu kwako ni nyororo, pana zile vako za kupigana usora. Siwezi patanga na madhara, uligaramianga hasara. Dhani bagere kumanga mimi nina favor, kila kitu nachofanya kibali kina ni favor.
So Remy,
Yeah.
we're here now.
I'm excited.
Welcome to La Casa.
Yeah, it's called Black Market.
Man, you know this is so small, like, you know.
But I can see
But the
it.
magic happens inside Soul. Wageni
That's
kwanza.
why I love studios.
Yo,
Asante.
karibu. Allah, Buddha.
Yeah.
Ni aje?
Ni aje?
Who hapa?
Kochonzo.
Good to see you, my brother. This is my brother, Cash Kid. This guy is responsible for me being a very dope producer. He played a very big part in my, like, I'd say 80% of me being a producer was fueled by his motivation and inspiration and countless nights telling me, Kafi mfanye vizuri hapa, toa hii. Ongeza alinijenga. This is my bro. And then after that we're still family, and we still hang out, we still create more music together. We're currently creating a couple of songs. I'm currently working with his artist. And he's a genius. I'm saying he's a genius.
But I'm so curious, how many times would you have to look through a song before you know that it can hit the airwaves?
Something funny with producers, if you go to their computers or rather workstation, there's like mix 1, mix 2, mix 3, mix 4 until mix 20. By the time a song is getting out to the airplay, or rather the market, you find like you have almost like 50 mixes. Why? Because of just perfection, like trying to perfect the sound. Because if it doesn't sound right to you, then how do you expect your fan to like listen to the same
Exactly. So that's what Kafi is saying.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
you have to perfect it
So-
every other time. Always
Exactly.
choker.
Always choker. And then you have to just spend like unlimited time, number of hours in the studio just to get it right.
Dude, I'm waiting to hear that sound. You said you made together. Yeah.
Well, this guy voiced it, so I definitely want you guys to hear this on Bible because this. Let me just stop. Let me just play the jam.
I'm
This
ready.
Jam is, wow, this jam is playable, man.
Okay. Boda.
Hey, you like that
Kafi redefined his DJ experience by being a host and a producer. He read the room and read it right.
Moseh's relationship with the drums started at an early age. Growing up in Mathare, he used the arts as his prime source of joy, and it kept him out of trouble. Hey, Moseh!
Hey, Nick.
How you doing, bro?
I'm good, my brother.
Good to see you.
Good
of
to see
course,
you too.
With the drums,
Yeah.
Kabisa, because the man is a drummist. Looking forward to this, eh?
Yeah, man.
You always travel with these? Is it
Yeah.
All the time?
Yeah, all the time.
Because you're always playing.
Yeah, sometimes even more drums than this. Depends with type of show.
Yes, by the way, speaking of shows,
Yeah.
we're going to get into a whole lot of that.
Yeah.
First thing, there's something that you said you do. Like, I think this is just so clever. Thing that you do just before your show. You picture how you want the show to be.
Exactly.
In your mind, before you get on stage. Manifesting the thing before. How does that work for you?
It's the best thing to do. It calms me down, puts me into the zone. Inanifanya nakuwa ready. Ile fire, you know that fire. You maintain it for the right moment. Yeah, but it's all about manifestation.
All about manifestation. That's where we're going with this thing right here. You have to picture it in your head.
Yeah.
You can't just jump on stage and say, I hope you show it itakuwa poa. You know,
Yeah.
you have to first visualize it, and then it comes into play.
Exactly.
That's beautiful, man. That is beautiful stuff. We're gonna do a lot of this today.
Exactly.
I have to take you back first to end the drama festivals, my friend. Drama festival was my favorite time in high school.
I as well.
Which high school?
Isili high.
Isli High.
Yeah.
Ooh. We had a couple of run-ins, not the best of times, lakini
Yeah.
respect was always put on each other when
Yeah.
time to kuna drama.
Yeah.
Because I remember me, I was in highway.
Wow.
Coming through with the plays.
Yeah.
And then you guys, sometimes it's dances, you do plays.
Yeah.
And you are in the end, you did so well.
Thank you.
Award winner. That's where your passion really
Yeah,
comes.
best instrumentalist here from Form 1 to Form 4.
4
It is
years
so
straight.
amazing. Yeah. And also through the process is how you grow, is how, you know, you meet different people, you know, you sharpen your mind, you share good ideas. So through Drama Festival, I think it was a good platform for us to learn a lot of good things.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, right there. So Apple, that's where like your passion for
That's where I get happiness. Yeah.
the happiness comes from there, and it shows. Even when he's talking about it, like I can just see in your face, it's energy and love for it, which is amazing. And you've done like, apart from drumming, like you've been an actor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did a bit of dancing. The form is not fooling me. It's not fooling me. Not fooling us at all. You've done a lot of other arts.
Honestly speaking, I was playing football, doing acrobats, traditional dance. And then
The
now,
one to the Saisol.
yeah, we call it kibende. Yeah.
what's
So one day my dad told me, sasa Mose utachagua kitu moja. Sasa ni either ucheze ball ama ufanye hizo acrobats na mziki. So mimi nilikuwa napenda mziki sana. Cheza drums hapo, tuna dance, tunapiga acrobat. So nikarudi more kwa arts. Ikaingiana na acting, kila kitu ikakuja imeingia pamoja.
They all blend, and
Yeah.
your character grows. Talent pia,
Yeah.
it just grows. And because of that, you have Man, I don't know if you understand. Have you done, like, how many shows?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot, like 20? 600?
Maybe 600, maybe 10,000.
Maybe 10,000?
Yeah.
Maybe 20,000?
Yeah, because I was exposed when I was very young. I used to play percussions for different bands in Nairobi when I was in high school.
Right.
So when school imefungwa, na jam kidogo na fadhili,
This is
kidogo
during
play
holidays.
Yes, during holidays.
So yeah, clearly you've done a whole lot of shows, and not just here in Kenya. You've had the opportunity to bless people all around the world.
Waiting for the all-around part.
But you've been here and there.
Yeah,
frequent there.
yeah.
How's the experience outside? Like, how are you received?
So far from the first time I went out of Kenya, my first show out of Kenya was in Tanzania during East African tournament, and I was there with the Kubamba. That was the first time.
The Kubamba crew.
Yeah, that was 2007. Yeah. So that was my first show.
How old were you then? What, 8, 9?
Yeah, so it was so amazing, bro. I met a lot of guys from Rwanda, Burundi. I was just exploding because all those years nimekuwa tu home. I was in Kenya. So I met a lot of different percussionists, singers, dancers, and it was so amazing. So from 2007, it's been sasa journey pole pole. Mashows hapa pale, kichezea maambasada kidogo huku, shows huku.
Okay.
But 2010, I got an opportunity to represent Kenya in Spain. I did like 3 months tour in Spain and Portugal, and it was so amazing. We were like about 48 countries from all over the world, and the festivals were under UNESCO and CEOF, which CEOF is the organization that organizes folklore festivals around the world.
Wow. The closest I came to representing Kenya, like in Spain and Portugal, was like watching
The World Cup.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm here in Kenya, checking you out, Spain, represent. But, okay. And you know, when you travel, it opens your mind, and then it also opens like your scope on what you do, right? Because I want to imagine when you're performing here in Kenya, the reception is very different from when you're in Spain.
Yeah.
Like, so how do you make sure that bado unawabamba vile unatubamba huku Kenya? How do you make sure that you still give the same sort of performance to strangers who are not that familiar with what you're doing?
You know, when it comes from the heart, always, all the time, it's the right thing. You know, for me, it doesn't matter if it's Kenya, or it's France, or it's Italy, or I'm playing for 4 people, I'm playing for 2 people. Always when I perform, inatoka hapa kutoka kwa roho, unajua. So na enjoy, napenda kucheza drums sana. I love playing music. I remember when I was a kid. Oh, wow, thank you.
Thanks.
Asante. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, back in my home, people used to say, mtoto ni kama amechizi. A lot of energy. Mtoto is like, he's too much energy with this drumming of his.
Way too much. It's like he's possessed.
Yeah. So I love it. So it doesn't matter where, who are watching the show, but all the time whenever I play, I enjoy, I give all my best from the heart. Because even in the house, I jam in the house.
Yeah?
My neighbors love it. Me, I play music, man.
You're giving your neighbors free shows.
Yeah.
Neighbors, can you slip some money under his door? Man. Every now and then.
Yeah.
Bro, something just hit me.
Yeah.
Ay. So, because they say music is universal. It's a universal language.
Yeah.
You don't have to understand the lyrics for you to understand the mood of the song.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, because like when it comes to drums, it's all about the energy vile una feel, all of it. So when you say it comes from the heart, I'm like, that makes sense why this guy is doing all these shows all over the place, constantly booked. Because it's like you're sharing a part of yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
You, my friend.
And you know, drum is therapeutic.
And it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
It's the medicine. Shout outs to Misa, doing the thing. Shout outs to people like you who like to follow their passions. I dig it. Let me throw this one your way.
Watoto.
Album dropped. So you over there in Mathare, the kids were so excited during the video shoot. Tell me about that album.
Yeah, Watoto is a 19-track album.
19.
Yeah, and
Nice.
the first track is called Ndakuchama, which are inside the album. I have like 9 remixes. So I have a remix from SA with the Ecstatic Soul. Okanjinji from SA, that's Durban remix. Moseh Deep, Botswana remix.
Hey.
6 Nautic remix. Shadow Star from Texas.
Okay, all
Master
right.
Luminary from Kenya. Ke3 from Kenya. That's Ndakuchama. Then there's Katike, I did with the Rama.
Beautiful.
Then Shadow Star, Akapenda, from Texas, we did a remix of it. So there's Wera, which I did with Jichopevu. Wera is, it's emphasizing Kenyans to be more patriotic and respect their hustle and respect somebody's hustle as well. So Wera, we just emphasize on hustling, chasing your papers in the right way.
In the right way.
But also patriotism, you know, because in Kenya, tujafundishwa uzalendo shule. You know, all the subjects is a very small part where we are being taught to be patriotic.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I feel like I'm proudly Kenyan. I go outside there with Kenyan flag. Whenever I play, I have my Kenyan flag here even right now.
Yeah,
so
that's what's
I'm
up.
proudly Kenyan. There's no place I can call home. This is my only home. So that's Wera, and then there's Paloma, which is the story of our lives with relationships and
Paloma.
stuff. Yeah. And then there's Watoto, which is the story of all the kids' lives and my life, and just telling the world to support each and every child to achieve their dreams, because they're the future. If we, you know, it's like a small committee. If we raise them well, then the future is bright.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Inspirational stuff. Watoto, the album.
The album.
Moseh The Drummist right here. Get it, because it's not just good, but it's also coming from a very, very cool place. And you're doing a lot to mentor kids and also just to make sure that society respects artists and also just furthering the craft, which is great.
Yeah.
So man, more power to you. And Delea, that's for being a dope drummist. Moseh The Drummist in the building. He's not just an artiste extraordinaire. Moseh The Drummist is also a mentor with a really good brain. And you know what? The message here is really simple. When you do it from your heart, with all your heart, you can't go wrong. That's what's good. Moseh The Drummist is living proof that when you do what you love, not only does it bring you joy, it also brings joy and inspiration to others.
Exactly, and DJ Kafi showed me that when you get your niche and you stick to it, you eventually get to where you're meant to be.
Thanks for catching this episode of What's Good Africa Kenya Edition 3.
Catch us same place, same time.